Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel and Merry Christmas! Yes, it is still November, but I don't care. I feel like with everything going on, I just kind of want to start the holiday stuff a little bit earlier. Like, it's already snowed here, we have Christmas lights, Netflix is releasing holiday movies, so why not? So I thought it might be fun to actually check out one of the most exciting Netflix movies, in my opinion, that's coming out for Christmas, and that is The Princess Switched again. Of course, before we start today's video, we have to do this week's sweaty shoutout, and this week it goes to Den, who sent this photo that says how Draco gets ready to pronounce the P in Potter. If you want to get a shoutout for yourself, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram, and then DM me your favorite meme of the week, and you might get chosen. If you happen to miss the first installment of the Vanessa Hudgens cinematic Christmas universe, basically what happened in the first movie was that Stacy went to Belgravia to compete in a baking contest with her friend Kevin and his daughter Olivia. She ends up meeting Margaret, who's the Duchess of Montenaro, and her then fiance, who is Prince Edward. They realize they look identical and swap places with each other because Margaret wants time out of the limelight, and they go about their lives as each other. Margaret falls in love with Kevin as Stacy, and Stacy falls in love with Prince Edward as Margaret, and at the end, once they reveal that they've been pretending to be each other, it's basically just an oh cool, let's eat cake now, Merry Christmas. And Stacey gets proposed to by Prince Edward. But for now, it seems like the storyline for the second movie has to do with a third person who also looks like Vanessa Hudgens coming into the mix and kind of screwing everything up, and they have to like switch again or something. So this is basically Vanessa Hudgens' Nutty Professor. I'm pretty sure that this is supposed to be a trilogy, and if it is gonna have one final movie, I kind of hope that the last one is just like 1500 Vanessa Hudgens like fighting each other Hunger Games style over a crown. I feel like that could be pretty entertaining. With that being said, let's jump in. Before we start today's video though, I did want to give a quick thank you to today's sponsor, which is ExpressVPN. As some of you guys probably know, if you've been on the channel before, I'm a pretty big fan of ExpressVPN, but if you haven't heard of them before, they're a VPN service that I've been using for well over a year now. What's great about using ExpressVPN is they keep my online information secure and help protect my privacy online too, by encrypting all of my data and hiding my location so that my internet activity actually stays private. My favorite feature though is definitely the content unblocking feature. I'm sure if you've used sites like Netflix before, you know how frustrating it is to like set up to watch a show or movie and then find out that while it is available on Netflix, it's just not available where you live. Thankfully, this hasn't been an issue for me for the past year because with ExpressVPN, it doesn't even matter that I live in Canada and that I want to watch shows like Billy on the Street that are only available to US users, because all I have to do is just use ExpressVPN to pretend that I'm in the States and watch it all I want. How this works is that every device has a unique IP address that can be traced back to you. But when you use ExpressVPN, your connection gets routed through one of their 3,000 plus servers, hiding your real IP address and replacing it with one of their own. This means you can browse the web anonymously with servers in 94 different countries, which means you've got a massive variety of places you can choose to appear from. And on top of all that, they've got the fastest speeds, 24/7 customer support, and it's just super easy to use because it only takes one click to fire up the app and connect. So if you want to check out ExpressVPN for yourself, find out how you can get 3 months free by clicking the link in the description box below, which is expressvpn.com/KCAonso.
But what you don't know is that since all of that happened, the King of Montenaro died, and Margaret is now in line for the throne, which has royally messed up everything in the romance department.
I love how she's just giggling while she's going through this laundry list of turmoil that her friend has gone through. The town's enslaved by Ashley Tisdale, there was a forest fire, a pandemic, basically everything went wrong, but at least it's just a movie, right? It's not like all of that would happen at the same time in real life.
The first time I kissed my husband, Prince Edward, was under the mistletoe. Give it up for Zach Brackman from Munich, Germany, and his mistletoe masterpiece.
Come on, that's such a kiss-ass move. Personally, I think the tree should have won. Like, I think she's really cute. Like, she's tall, she's got the star on top. She's gone beyond the concept of cake, which I can appreciate. Even though I definitely can't bake for myself, as we all now know.
You were positively charming today, darling.
The accent and the Gymshark t-shirt just feel very wrong together. Like, this guy just sounds like he should be in a suit at all times. And maybe also like one of those little like wig things. Does he look like Benedict Cumberbatch, or am I pulling at straws here? Okay, maybe like Benedict Cumberbatch's third cousin.
Have you seen this?
Is the Duchess ready to rule?
And this?
Yoo-hoo? Why is that so funny? Have you read the new Yoo-hoo? You can't say the Yoo-hoo publication without sounding like that guy from Frozen who's like, Yoo-hoo, big summer blowout.
why don't we take a teeny tiny little detour to Chicago on our way to Montanaro?
I just keep expecting them to say Belgravia. Like the muscle memory. As I mentioned earlier in the movie, Margaret and Kevin did break up because she was becoming queen and things just got complicated, so Kevin ended up heading back to Chicago. But now Stacy's planning to bring him to Montanaro where they're going to celebrate Margaret's coronation and just try to get them back together. I cannot stress enough how much I love this guy's facial expressions. Like, even in the first movie, if you watch him when he's not talking and he's just like looking around at things, it is fucking hilarious.
There's...
You really wouldn't mind lending a hand?
I love this song.
Let's deck these halls.
You know, just casually whipping out a 100-foot-long garland. Typical Tuesday.
Hey!
Do we think that those guys were stored in the basement with the rest of the other decorations this whole time, or because where did they come from?
Ah, there's the sugar behind the flour.
Fla.
Oh, it'd be easier if I get it, B. I've
I
been...
told you.
Silly me.
I'll give you 20.
No.
Wait, guys, let me join. Oh my god, that's so pretty. Can I come over?
Oh, Kevin has been looking pretty hot these days.
Margaret's like, damn, this whole coronation thing is like super overwhelming and stressful. Like the idea of becoming a queen and ruling an entire country. And the other girl's like, yeah. Have you seen Kevin today though? Because he's looking pretty cute. I'd almost go as far as to say irresistible on this fine holiday season.
Has anyone ever told you you were born to wear a tuxedo?
Was I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. Okay, no offense, but like if I was becoming queen and I got to choose the song that I walked out to, like assuming she chose it because she's queen, I would have chosen something with a bit more spice.
Excuse my ego, come go incognito.
But her dance moves really suck, though. You show him how it's done.
Oh, that is smooth.
All right.
She knows it too. She literally went like, thank you.
Me too.
Wait. Here we go.
I know the plot depends on these two like egging on Margaret to get back with her ex, but even knowing that, they still come off as like that Pinterest couple that like cannot physically process someone not being in a relationship with someone else. And whenever they're around someone who's single, they'll like scan the room, find the other only single person or just a warm body in general, and will just be like, all right, get married now. Why are all their ties like comically large? Like, they look like mice in the Nutcracker. Wait, do they even wear ties in the Nutcracker? Oh, I'm thinking about Tom and Jerry. I'm thinking about Tom and Jerry. And it's not even the mouse that wears the big tie. It's Jerry. Jerry the cat with a tie. How big is his tie? Oh my god, the cat's name isn't even Jerry. Jesus fuck. Just forget I said anything, honestly. I'm fucking stupid.
Maggie Moo.
Jeffree Star?
You certainly have learned how to throw a party. So proud of you.
Oh dear god, this girl's voice is already driving me insane.
But I fully intend to spend as much time as possible with my favorite little cousin.
Vanessa Hudgens just has such a naturally wholesome face that even when she's playing characters that are supposed to be evil and she's intentionally trying to look like she's fake happy for that person, it doesn't come off that way. Like, she just looks like she's genuinely happy for her cousin.
There you are. I've been looking everywhere for you,
Oh my god, this guy's the worst.
requiring your immediate attention.
We'll be back in an hour.
It really can't wait.
If this Vineyard Vines man does not get the fuck out of here, I will do it myself. So it turns out that the only reason her right-hand man, who is Antonio, ended up stealing her away was to confess that she's the queen of his heart. And he gave her a necklace to which she was like, okay, cool. I'm confused though because Kevin's here, so I don't know. Wait, is the twist that he's like evil and he's gonna team up with a cousin and they're gonna pretend that they're dating and then they're gonna become king and queen? That's the twist. That is the twist. This makes perfect sense. Like, he gets rejected. We find out his love is only skin deep for her because she's a queen. He teams up with the other girl. They, like, charade as, like, the new king and queen and, like, overthrow everything. Oh my god. Why am I acting like cracking a Netflix holiday movie is like... I'm acting like I just hacked into, like, a government mainframe.
Kevin and I haven't even begun to talk about what went wrong between us. And every time we try, we never get a chance to finish our conversation.
Schedule an appointment then. Google Calendar.
Maybe all we're meant to be is a happy memory.
Are they about to break in a song? So Margaret and Stacey end up deciding that they're going to switch again so that Margaret can have more time with Kevin to figure out if he's the one, while Stacey goes to all of the functions that Margaret's supposed to go to before the coronation. And for some reason they decide to not tell Prince Edward about it.
Are you truly a consort for a queen?
Yeah, you guys are going to have to give me a second here. Why not just say husband? What? Why? What? Not this looking like a TikTok content house.
I wouldn't have to do it for long, just long enough to get crowned queen and transfer a small fortune to an unnumbered bank account in the Caymans.
Money laundering. Maybe this is really a content house. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Please don't sue me.
On my way to the kitchen to do some Christmas baking.
Why do you always have to say Christmas before everything? Going on a Christmas walk. Well, I'm going to mow my Christmas lawn.
I am donating them to the orphanage.
Didn't I get you that scarf last Christmas?
You did. I love it so much. I got another one to donate to the orphans.
Last Christmas, I gave you a scarf, and the very next year, you gave it to an orphanage. Okay, but now I feel bad. Like, why'd they have to leave him out like that? So while Margaret and Stacey are planning their switch themselves, Fiona decides she's gonna stage a switch of her own where she's gonna have her friends kidnap Margaret while she pretends to be her as part of her plan to stop being broke. Girl, you've not been fooling anyone. Just take the wig off.
So, how do we proceed?
I'll escort you to the service entrance.
Not the comparison between their accents. Why would they set her up like this?
But I dare say that most of what I do is to keep busy while she's otherwise occupied. I'm honestly worried that somehow I've let her down. That perhaps married life isn't what she hoped it would be.
This is really sad. Why am I eating this up? This is embarrassing.
Ooh, I quite like this one.
No, you don't.
Why can't this man have his tie? Like, let him have his silly little tie. Let him live. He thinks he's on the brink of divorce. Can you imagine after a Christmas performance, you just get bodied by like 400 balloons? Thank you for that lovely performance. Bringing the balloon assault.
To freedom!
I like her smile.
She hasn't smiled in quite a while.
Funny, because he told me he had the same problem.
Well, my snowman said that he still needs a nose.
You don't have to be a count.
A count? What kind of count are we talking about here? Van Count? Dooku? Margaret and Kevin end up having a grand old time making snowmen, and they realize that they shouldn't have broken up in the first place and decide to get back together while Stacey's at the royal party pretending to be Margaret. Why is every room in this movie built like a Christmas version of a rainforest cafe? Like, this is just sensory overload at this point. I don't think any human can process this much holly and tinsel. Chloroform? Okay, Princess Switch 48 hours. So Fiona successfully kidnaps who she thinks is Margaret, but is actually Stacey. And she has her friends put her in some sort of basement in a palace while Fiona begins to pretend to be Margaret. After she gets back from the party though, she runs into the real Margaret who thinks that she's talking to Stacey. So Fiona just goes, sorry, I'm the real Margaret. If you don't agree, I'm gonna throw you in prison. So of course the actual Margaret leaves and starts freaking out, and Fiona starts freaking out as well and calls her friends to let them know that they kidnapped the wrong person. And then Kevin comes in thinking that he's talking to the real Margaret, and Fiona fucks that all up too.
You and Olivia need to go home.
You really mean that?
Use your brain. No.
Goodbye, Kevin.
This is giving that scene from High School Musical 3 where like Gabriella is like, I have to walk away, Troy. I'm going to a different university. You're a rat. Not the good kind.
After the concert, what happened?
We were separated for a few minutes at the reception, and then she returned to the palace in her limousine.
I'm sorry. Are they actually debating on whether the only other girl who looks exactly like Margaret would be the person responsible for this? I don't know. There's only 2 people who look exactly like Margaret, and one of them is really nice, and the other one is really mean. I wonder who's capable of something like this. How many twins do they think this girl has? While they're all trying to figure out who this new fake Margaret is, Antonio pulls up and lets Fiona know that he knows that she's not the real Margaret.
So you can either make me a partner in your little scheme, or be exposed as an imposter.
Okay, so I was kind of right. So like half the mind of a mastermind. After they come up with their pack, they decide to rush the coronation to tonight instead of Christmas Day. So they rush over to the church and try to complete the scheme before the real Margaret is able to find Stacy. But while they're heading to the church though, Margaret and her friends figure out where Stacy's being held, help her escape, and then they all rush to the church and end the coronation before Fiona can be crowned queen.
There are 3 of them.
No, Your Eminence. There is only one Margaret Delacourt, and I am she.
This is she.
And you are?
I'm Princess Stacy Juliet de Novo, Windham of Belgravia.
And I'm Casey.
I didn't want to go through with it. That freak Antonio made me do it.
Margaret, she's lying.
Ew.
And I've learned everything I can about them for the past 6 months so I can serve them to the best of my ability.
Personally, all I know is they like baking and Christmas. So I hope you know more than I do.
You don't know how to command.
Watch this. Arrest him and take him to the dungeon.
Dungeon. She said dungeon. What time period is this in?
I behaved abominably. I'm sorry. You're the only real family I've ever had.
Okay, this would be the part that you go, I don't care, and you throw her. Why aren't you throwing her in jail?
I suppose I could ask the judge for a reduced sentence.
Okay, so moral of the story, if you have a cousin and she kidnaps someone who looks like you, expecting it to be you, and drugs that person, shoves them in a dungeon, plans to overthrow you as queen and take all of your money, and then stuff it into a fake charity and run with all that money, if she gets caught by you, it's okay. Because she just got carried away. So after they save the crown, they rush to find Kevin, who during all of this chaos has been heading to the airport to get back on a flight to Chicago because he's under the impression that Margaret is done with him. Santa? I know they're not insinuating that man is Santa. I know they are not insinuating that man is Santa Claus. I'm gonna assume that the Northern Hemisphere in this universe did not get their presents this year, because Santa was too busy driving someone to the airport. Margaret ends up getting to the airport though before they leave, and they both propose to each other and conveniently find a pastor who can marry them in an airport.
Why don't we make this official?
Not them finding a random
58. That's my flight.
Just cut to the chase.
Have you prepared your vows?
I think we can wing it.
This is cute.
I promise to walk by your side forever.
Yeah, this guy is not making his flight.
I wish I could promise you the world, but the world's not mine to give. What I can promise you is my world, because it would be empty without you.
Oh, that's deep.
I don't suppose you have a ring?
I bought it last summer.
Oh my god, I just happen to have the ring in my back pocket. What a coincidence. After they end up together, they have a whole coronation for Margaret, and it's a happily ever after for everyone. Why is there a coronation on Christmas? I'm not entirely sure, but whatever. Merry Christmas. I actually really enjoyed that. Like, it was definitely very like corny, hallmarky, but like that's exactly what you'd expect from a movie like this. And I think that it delivered on those things, but like in a good way. I almost go as far as to say it's kind of a little bit better than the first one because it has a bit more spice to it. But that also might be because I haven't seen the first one in a while, so keep that in mind. I feel like rating wise, I have to be very like clear that I'm rating this in terms of like the specific genre of Christmas movies that are like super corny. Like you have the good Christmas movies and then you have the like bad good Christmas movies. And I feel like this is like a bad good one. So in terms of bad good, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. What can I say? I like Vanessa Hudgens being booked and busy. Anyways, I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video and watching this little Christmas movie with me. Hopefully if you weren't in the holiday spirit before, you are now. thanks to that 100-foot long garland. If any of you guys have seen the movie already, I would love to hear your thoughts about it down below. And also if any of you guys have like suggestions for Christmas movie videos on my channel that you think might be fun for the holiday season, I would love to hear them in the comments as well. I think that's about it for me. I hope you guys did enjoy the video again, and I will see you guys in the next one. Did that description just say coronavirus? Coronation. Okay, that makes more sense. ASMR? They get on the dance floor and it's just like... I don't even know the dance. What even is that noise? It sounds like a fart. You know what? I'm still big brain. I didn't know she sang that high.